The following is a Cable 14 special presentation.
The city of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We further acknowledge that this land is covered by the Between the Lakes Purchase in 1792 between the Crown and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Today, the city of Hamilton is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, known as North America. And we recognize that we must do more to learn about the rich history of this land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers.
Hello and welcome one more time to the Hamilton Network's 2022 Provincial Election Debates, presented live by Cable 14 in partnership with our good friends at the Hamilton Spectator. I'm Mike Fortune, and I'll be your moderator for this evening's debate. For the next hour, we will be featuring candidates in the riding of Hamilton Mountain. Joining us live in studio this evening are Chantal Lachance from the Liberal Party and the incumbent from the New Democratic Party, Monique Taylor. Thank you both very much for being here this evening. And of course, we also invited the Green Party candidate, Janet Ehrgars, and the Progressive Conservative candidate, Michael Spadafora, to participate in this Hamilton Mountain debate. However, both declined. Also running in the Hamilton Mountain are Andy Busa for the Ontario Party and Bailey Ng for the New Blue Party. Now, our format for this broadcast, it includes 2 minutes each for the candidates to make an opening statement. Then, our esteemed local media panel will be posing questions with both candidates having a chance to speak to each issue. And finally, we will wrap up with a 1-minute closing statement from each of our candidates. Viewers at home, if you're watching live, please tweet us at Cable 14 or email election@cable14.com to share any questions that you would like us to ask on behalf of you to our candidates. Now, I'll be doing my best to keep us on track with what's expected for each section and timing and how we're doing for that particular time. So without further delay, let's get started with our 2-minute opening statements. If needed, you will get a 10-second warning before I call time. Representing the Liberal Party, Chantal Lachance, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Fortune, and you, the audience, who are listening and allowing my voice into your home. I was born on Hamilton Mountain, and the last few weeks have reminded me that we have the best people. People with a great sense of citizenship and community. As a teacher and as a parent, I feel and hear the concerns that we are addressing together at the doors. Those concerns, along with my desire to serve the public on a greater scale, are the only reasons I have decided to become a candidate. The Ontario Liberal Party has learned important lessons that allow us to come into this election with a greater sense of clarity, one that will allow us to make Ontario a place to grow as it once was. Over the last 4 years, we have collaborated with tens of thousands of Ontarians in order to make sure that our plan reflects you, the voter. Now, the reality of leadership is that as a leader, we are always judged by what we get accomplished. As a party, we have taken bold steps to enhance the life in Ontario. Do you remember smog alerts? Do you remember looking into the sky and seeing a haze of pollution? The Ontario Liberal Party ended the burning of coal, which was responsible for that smog. Now, 12 years ago, we also created full-day kindergarten, a transformational approach to learning which allows students to develop their creativity and their sense of leadership. We have also ensured labor peace and have worked in collaboration with our municipal leaders. Those are the kinds of results that you can expect from a party with the strength to form government and a leader with a tangible plan to bring positive change to your lives on day one. I look forward to answering your questions and providing you with a vision for progress, the new Ontario Liberal vision.
Ms. LaChance, thank you very much for that opening statement. We do appreciate it. We will now pass it over to Monique Taylor, the incumbent for the New Democratic Party.
Thank you so much. I am Monique Taylor. I am your NDP candidate for Hamilton Mountain, and I'm the incumbent for this riding. I would also like to start by thanking Cable 14 for having us here this evening, and to you, the viewer at home, who've invested your time to take part in tonight's debate. This election is critical to the future of services which impact all of our lives. They are at stake. Healthcare, seniors care, education are all at risk. I have knocked on thousands of doors. I have spoken to so many of you. Your concerns are the same. Your cost of living, affordable housing, a healthcare you can count on, dignity in seniors care, and the well-being and education of our most vulnerable resources, our children. For years, we have watched Liberal and Conservative governments underfund and disrespect our most valuable public programs and services. From Liberals who sold Hydro One to the Conservatives who continue to privatize health and seniors care. I think their records speak for themselves. These are not the people who are going to fix what they broke. The past 2 years have truly highlighted the cracks in these sectors. And this can only be the result, which can be expected, from years of underfunding and neglect. I know Ontario is ready for change. The NDP is the only choice that prioritizes people over profits. And we are the only ones who you know that you can count on. We have a concrete plan and a vision for a better Ontario that is truly filled with hope and optimism. I'm looking forward to tonight's questions, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you to both of our candidates for their opening statements. We do appreciate that. It's now time to move on to our media panel, and thrilled to see so many of them back again. Joining us now, great to see Kevin Werner back in the Cable 14 studios from Hamilton Community News and the Hamilton Spectator. Rick Zamperin back from 900 CHML for his fourth night, along with Bobby Rostova of CBC Hamilton. Kelly Botello makes an appearance for us this evening from CHCH. And of course, my co-host Val Cole from the Hamilton Networks and Cable 14. Now, each of our panelists will be choosing a candidate to answer a question, and then we will open up the topic to the other candidate if they wish to speak to it. All of your responses will be limited to 1 minute. I'll give a warning when your time has run out. Our first question comes from Kevin Werner for the Hamilton Community News and the Hamilton Spectator. Kevin, take it away.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, candidates. My question is directed to Monique Taylor. The NDP party and candidates have been saying that they are the only party that will be able to prevent PC leader Doug Ford from getting a majority. I'm wondering, will the NDP party then support the PCs in a minority government? And if not, will you and the Liberals join up and prevent them from holding government?
Thank you for that question, Kevin. You know, my leader, Andrea, has been very clear that we would not prop up a Conservative government. But we're also not looking towards any coalitions or, you know, at this point. We're truly looking to form government. We have the best opportunity to do so. In the last election, out of 100 ridings, we came in first or second. We are already 40 seats strong with incumbents, and know that we have the best ability to come out at the end of the day to beat Doug Ford.
Thank you very much for that. We will open that up. Ms. LaChance, if you would like to respond to that, as the Liberals were brought up in that question by Kevin Werner.
I guess for the Ontario Liberal Party, we haven't had any discussions regarding teaming up to beat Doug Ford. As with the NDP government, we believe that we are really strong in the polls right now, and we are close to forming government. And so this, I think that if we'll see how the election goes, and then we'll talk about it. But right now, there hasn't been any discussion.
Fair enough. Thank you very much.
And, honestly, the only poll that's going to count is the poll that happens on Election Day. And we feel that we still have a really good, strong ground game. Andrea is back on her feet, working hard. Being put down for 5 days was tough on us, but she's determined. She's working hard, and I know that we are truly the only ones to have the ability. The Liberals are coming from 7 seats. We're coming from 40 seats. So we definitely have the best path forward to government and to beating Doug Ford.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Any response to that? No. We will continue to move on now. As mentioned, joining us from CH this evening, pleasure to have her in our studios, Kelly Botello. Kelly, your question and who you're directing it to, please.
Good evening. My question is for Chantal. Residents of the Hamilton Mountain, like Ontarians across this province, are paying much more for less when it comes to groceries, gas, and a place to live. If elected, how will you and your government make life more affordable?
Thank you for the question. Last week, Stephen Del Duca signed a 19-point affordability pledge because we are serious about helping Ontarians and the people of Hamilton Mountain. We are serious about helping them be able to afford to live in Ontario. Every week myself, I am surprised when I pay my groceries at the cash. I'm surprised when I fill up my car with gas. So just to name a few of the things that we're going to help people save on. For commuters, we're slashing all public transit fares across the province to $1, saving many commuters hundreds of dollars. For parents, we're slashing before and after care to $10. For students, we're taking off the interest on their loans. For families who have kids with autism, there will be a direct billing process right to the government. No more out-of-pocket expenses. For seniors, we will increase old age security by $1,000 a year. And for those who eat, we will be removing HST on prepared meals under $20. So we are experiencing an affordability crisis, and our party is serious about ending this and helping all Ontarians be able to live in Ontario.
That is your 1 minute. If you would like to respond, please, Ms. Taylor.
Yes, thank you. Housing affordability is one of the number one issues that we're definitely hearing on the door. Parents are worried about where their young people, their children, are going to go, how they're going to be able to afford the rent. A 1-bedroom, basement, pretty much nothing apartment is $1,500. When you have a family and you need a 1 or a 2-bedroom, we're looking over $2,000. We have so many families in Hamilton Mountain with 3, 4 children and have nowhere to go. Affordability is a major issue, so we will tackle our housing crisis by making sure that we have mixed-use residential, including more co-ops, more work with programs that will allow affordability and homes that people can afford. Make sure that we're building smaller homes that make sense for families. We also will tackle the gas prices. Food security is a major issue. There are so many seniors that I'm hearing from that are calling my office on a regular basis, and they're having to call the food bank for the first time ever because they're just not able to make it through the month. That's not okay. By making sure that we have a food strategy with healthy options is really going to be critical for people looking forward. Tackling auto insurance. For auto insurance to be based on your postal code instead of your own driving record is just absolutely wrong. When we're watching insurance companies profit in the billions of dollars and people are struggling at home, we can do better than what we've seen happen for the last 20 years.
We would like to open this up for further discussion now. Please, Ms. LaChance.
I'm a little disappointed with your plan because I know that you do care about the citizens of Ontario, but when it comes to affordability, with our plan, Ontario residents will save approximately $1,000 a month. But with yours, they'll be paying an extra $965 a month because it doesn't address gas, food, childcare, or transit.
If you can, 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 if It actually does include all of those bases, and we will save more money for people by not having to bring out their credit card to get the mental health services they need, not having to bring out their credit card for dental services. We all know how expensive it is to go to a dentist, and prescription care. We have seniors who are literally cutting their pills in half to make sure that they can take their prescriptions, or they're just simply going without. We're also going to raise the minimum wage to $20, making sure that people have more money in their pockets, raising ODSP by doubling it. I believe your party is only giving 10% the 1 year, 10% the next year. You left people in poverty for way too long. Most of this mess was created by the Liberals, continued by the Conservatives, and we will do better. So your numbers are wrong, but I know that our plan is solid. I believe in our plan, and I know that it's the right way forward for the people of Ontario and Hamilton Mountain.
Well, in our plan, we have our economic dignity. And under this plan, we will be raising the livable wage. We will be introducing a livable regional wage for people. So depending on where they live, the wage will change. And included in the economic dignity plan are benefits. They're portable benefits no matter where you live, no matter where you're working, that will be included. People will also get 10 sick days.
Chantal, I know you weren't there, and I get it, and I respect you for thinking that you can move forward. But Liberals are Liberals are Liberals. They'll tell you one thing to get elected, and they'll do another thing as soon as they get there. The affordability lays on the back of the Liberals. Our housing prices. It was the Liberals who opened those loopholes for corporations to be able to come in, and to speculators to come in and to buy up our homes. We have entire communities that are being bought up by big corporations, raising rents that people just can't afford. You didn't raise the minimum wage. You didn't raise Ontario Works. You didn't raise ODSP. Today's not a new day. People are still feeling the effects of 15 years of Liberals, continued by 4 years of Doug Ford's Conservatives.
I know that some people want to keep looking in the rearview mirror, but we want to move forward. We want to move forward with our new plan, our new leader,
history books for a reason,
and
Chantal.
our new set of candidates.
History counts. That's why they have history books written.
Thank you both for that lively debate. We'll continue on now from CBC Hamilton, Bobby Rostova. Your question and who you are directing it to, please, Bobby.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the incumbent a question. Speaking of history, the pandemic has been historic, unprecedented, as everyone has said. I wonder how you evaluate your own role in this. Do you feel like your constituents' needs were met during this pandemic?
Thank you for that question. I can assure you, my staff and we worked so hard day and night. This was a fearful time for so many. People had no idea what was happening. We had a Conservative government. Boy, I really wish the Conservatives were here to answer for their role in this. It's really unfortunate that they're not. We had a government who couldn't make a decision, changed mandates on a regular basis, changed directives on a regular time. So we did our best. We were hosting town halls with small businesses. We were doing our best to get small businesses the grants that they needed, the money that they needed when the Conservatives' plan was failing. We were working hard, pushing them, the Conservatives, to ensure that we had vaccines, that we had testing clinics that could be open. There was so many things happening on a regular basis, and our constituents were scared. And I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to serve during this time. As hard as it was, I believe I had their backs. Look at our long-term care. I mean, look at Grace Villa, what we went through. One day I was literally standing out front doing a video, being able to talk to people, to the constituents, and they were bringing bodies out behind me. That was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. And those workers at Grace Villa are still feeling those effects today.
Ms. Taylor, thank you very much. We will now open this up for further discussion. Ms. LaChance.
I just wish Mr. Spatafora was here so that I can ask him where the $4.4 billion in COVID relief money is. This is a question that we're all asking ourselves, and it's really unfortunate that he's not here to answer.
You're absolutely right. It is shameful that they're not here to speak for their record. Just as I said to Chantal, Mike Spatafora has signed on the dotted line to be a Conservative, so he holds that record. And for him not to be here is completely disrespectful to the people of Hamilton Mountain, to not withhold and stand up to their own beliefs and records.
Thank you both for that. Oh, would you like to continue with that?
Sure.
Yeah, please. Go ahead, Ms.
I just wanted to
Lachance.
say
Yes.
that this is the most important interview that we've ever had. And typically in life, if you don't show up for an interview, you just don't get the job.
That's right. Thank you very much for that. We will now continue on from 900 CHML. He's here for his fourth night. Mr. Rick Zamprin, you're up.
Fourth time's a charm, maybe? I don't know. As a proud Hamilton Mountain resident, looking forward to your answers the rest of the way. So far, it's been rather entertaining and insightful, and I think all the people at home watching can say the same. My question is to Ms. Lachance. Yes. I want to talk about putting people to work, because we have all four of the main parties that are proposing to build 1.5 million homes over the next 10 years. There is a tremendous gap and a need for more tradespeople in this sector. We simply don't have the numbers to pull off 1.5 million homes over the next decade as we stand right now. There's also an enormous number of vacancies in the service industry. So what's your plan and what's your party's plan to put people into these jobs?
Thank you for the question. So first of all, the first thing we want to do is invest in promoting the skilled trades in high schools. And that's the way, I know in my own high school where I work, it's something that's not being done enough, or I would say at all. It's just, if a student just happens to take the course and then he finds it interesting, but no one is doing anything, actively doing anything to recruit the student. So recruiting and getting their interest and making sure that not just boys but girls as well are being recruited, so that we can take advantage of the great talents of men and women in Ontario. And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to match the federal funding. So anyone who wants to go into the trades, they will receive a grant, and the federal government is also giving a grant. So the two combined will also be a great incentive for them to go into the trades. And for myself personally, I always talk to my boys about looking into the trades, because I know that, my father was a carpenter, and I know how much it can be very rewarding as a career.
Would like to open this up now to the rest of the panel here. Monique, if you'd like to touch on that.
I am the rest of the panel this night.
Yes, you are. Thank you. Yes.
Jobs are such an important topic, and you're absolutely right. We have so many retail jobs, jobs that could be filled, but we're not getting people out there. We need to increase the minimum wage. We need to know that people need to know that they can invest in their own futures by going to work and not feel that they're being disrespected. We're going to create an Ontario benefits program so that all workers in this province have healthy ability to take care of themselves and to get those benefits that so many union jobs, enjoy. Doing the trades, absolutely. Bringing the skilled trades back into the schools and those shop schools back in. I believe it was the Liberals that actually cut those schools. I remember Parkview and a few different schools that were cut years ago, and I'm pretty sure it was under the Liberal government. So it's interesting to see that they're going to bring them back, but making sure that we're truly investing in the trades and that young people understand that these are great jobs. Mm-hmm. Stop streaming, right? Stop streaming in the schools and making sure that we're actually telling these young people that trades are great jobs, that they can have opportunity. And there's so many things that we can do. Manufacturing, we're going to, and our green energy plan is going to create jobs for thousands of young people across this province. We're going to plant 1 billion trees, putting young people to work with real wages and respecting their time and energy. There's ways that we can get people to work in this province, and New Democrats are the way forward for that.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about our economic dignity plan. So basically, what we want to do, what we need to do in Ontario is give people a sense of dignity. If they're going to go out to work, they need to be able to afford life. So when we talked about the regional livable wage, that means that depending on where you live in Ontario, that wage will go up or down. So if you're living in an area that's a little more affordable, the livable wage would be a little lower. And if you're living in a place like Toronto or even Hamilton, the livable wage would be higher. So included with the livable wage is our benefits, including mental health benefits. You would also get 10 sick days And you would also be able to, if you're in a lower income bracket, we would match every $1,000 for your retirement savings plan. So if you put in $1,000, then we'll match that. So that gives people a sense of progress, right? Like it's worth it. It's worth going to work because you're getting all of these added benefits. So it's very comprehensive. It's not just about the money, it's about the benefits and the sick days and the retirement savings plan.
Yeah, the sick days is quite something. When we were trying to force the Conservatives to bring in paid sick days, Peggy Sattler started, and a New Democrat member started the 10 paid sick days and worked with Equal Pay and the Workers' Coalition to ensure that we had the right program when it came to sick days. And the Conservatives voted, I believe, 27 times against that bill, where, not giving people the opportunity to stay home, particularly during a pandemic when it was most important for them to be able to stay home and have those, those critical, that critical time of staying home through sick days.
No, I just wanted to add to what Ms. Taylor is saying, the importance of having 10 sick days. I know for myself as a teacher, I've had the privilege to have 10 sick days every single year, and no one in this province should ever have to choose between their mental health and providing for their family, or taking care of a sick one at home and providing for their family. So I think this is an idea that we all need to get on board with. And if Mr. Spatafora was here, I would ask him about it.
He would say no. We'll speak for him. No.
Thank you very much for that discussion regarding those topics. Now, coming up from Cable 14, I mentioned her before. She's back tonight. My co-host from the Hamilton Network, Val Cole, you're up.
Thank you so much, Mike. I'm reading, these are emails from our viewers. So from Jessica, May is Sexual Violence Prevention Month. Crisis support calls to the Sexual Assault Center keep increasing, along with wait times for counseling services and requests for abuse prevention and public education programs. If elected,
sorry, go ahead.
If elected, what will you do to ensure survivors of sexual violence can receive timely supports from their community sexual assault center?
Sorry about that, Val. Let's pose that question
That's right,
to
I'm used to it.
Ms. Taylor. I'm always cutting you off. Let's pose that to Ms. Taylor first and then Ms. LaChance.
Thank you so much for that very important question. I have definitely heard from so many women who are desperate for help, and our shelters have been busting at the seams. The governments, both Liberal and Conservative governments for years, have not invested properly. We don't have near enough homes to be able to keep women safe, and then transitional homes so that they have somewhere to go after. Women who are in shelters for much too long, way past the mandate time, because there's nowhere to go. We're opening up hotel rooms for people to be safe. This is not the right way forward. We need to invest in community programs, invest in women's health, invest in making sure that they're able to stay safe, and that they have a safe place to go when they need it.
Ms. LaChance, you're good? Mm-hmm. Would you like to add anything further then, Ms. Taylor? Are you good?
No, I just think and want to remind the voters that it has been literally 20 years. In my 11 years experience, 7 years under the Liberals, 4 years under the Conservatives, these are the stories that I'm hearing on a regular basis. These aren't new stories. They've been happening for years, and that's direct underfunding and neglect of services. Critical programs that we have in our communities that women rely on. We have police taking women to emergency rooms and nowhere for them to go after. It's time that these governments step up, ensure that the programming is there, that the services are there, and that the money is there to support them to stay viable in our communities.
I just want to say that I share Ms. Taylor's point of view, and supporting women and sexual violence is very important, and it's something that should not face political bickering.
Very well said. Thank you to both of you to this point for this debate and conversation. And before we continue with more questions from our media panel, any candidates not invited to participate in our debate this evening had the opportunity to record a statement. Here now is the pre-recorded statement from the Ontario Party candidate in Hamilton Mountain, Andy Busa.
Hi, I'm Andy Busa, and I am seeking election in the Provincial Parliament on June 2nd, representing Hamilton Mountain under the Ontario Party. I've lived in Hamilton since my family and I have moved to Canada from the Philippines in 2006. In the past 16 years, I've been very much involved in our community, several of which are helping newcomers and refugees in our city. As an immigrant myself, I am advocating diversity, equity, and inclusion in our community. I am now asking for your votes to represent you in Queen's Park. I do recognize that each of the 6 candidates, including myself, could be a good choice to be elected as your MPP based on your personal circumstance, needs, and what you are hoping to see happening in the province of Ontario for the next 4 years. I know that in the past 2 years have been very difficult journey for all of us. The present government has failed and disappointed many of us on the way it handled the COVID-19 pandemic. Should our platform and what we are standing for and fighting for as a party on freedom, family, and faith for the Ontarians resonate with yours during this unprecedented time and season, then do not vote for the popular candidate. Do not vote for the same dominant color. Instead, give change a chance. Vote for Ontario Party. Vote for me, Andy Busa, the number 1 on your ballot.
Mr. Busa, thank you very much for that pre-recorded statement. Now, before we do another round of questions for our viewers at home, if you miss any part of this broadcast or want to see candidates from the other Hamilton area ridings, well, you'll find all of our debates on demand at cable14.com. Free for public viewing and sharing, all courtesy of our good friends at Cogeco and Rogers. We now return to our panel for more questions. Back up, Kevin Werner from the Hamilton Community News. Kevin.
Well, thank you, Mike. My question is to Monique. A week from today, we will see who's going to be leading this province again. I'm wondering if the NDP does not win, would you support or should Andrea Horwath step down?
Well, Kevin, I think that's an unfair question. I believe that the voters are here to talk about their concerns on the street. We'll leave that decision up to Andrea. And like I said, we're working hard to win government. We know that the people of Ontario look to us for hope. They look to us for programs that they can count on. They look to us to defend their needs. We believe that we have the way forward. As I said, we're 40 strong. We're not that far from reaching the Conservatives. We just need the people of Ontario to ensure that they're voting on election day and that they make sure that their vote counts and it's in the right direction.
Thank you for that response. It has been a hot topic. Ms. LaChance, would you like to respond to that? No. Okay, Kevin, thank you very much for that. We will continue on with our media panel. And of course, coming to us again from CHCH, it's Kelly Botello. Kelly, it's all yours.
Thank you. My question's for Monique. Grace Villa Nursing Home on the Hamilton Mountain was the site of the deadliest COVID outbreak in the city. What reforms do you think are necessary in nursing homes to prevent more tragedies?
Thank you for that question. And you're right. It was absolutely horrific what we've seen happen there. We need to bring back quality control. Let's just do that, right? Take profit out of our home care, out of our long-term care, making sure that we're investing in our seniors, not in somebody's profit. We have watched in 2020, 3 major long-term care giants, including Mike Harris's Chartwell, paid out $170 million to shareholders after receiving $138 million of government subsidies. We can do better. Take the profit out of home care, bring back quality control, ensure we have 4 hours of hands-on care. Pay our PSWs respectfully, make sure that they have good jobs that they can count on, that are reliable, that are full-time, that have pensions and benefits, and respect them for the work that they're doing while they take care of our seniors, right? Our loved ones, our parents, our grandparents. I know for the day that I ever have to end up in long-term care, if that day ever comes, I want to know that the system that we built will be safe, that it will be well maintained, that seniors will eat proper, healthy food, that they'll have their teeth brushed and be able to get to breakfast, in a decent time instead of the measly 4 minutes that they have now. This is liberal and conservative governments for years who have dismantled and built a poor, shameful system
Thank you,
that
Ms.
we've
Taylor.
put our seniors in.
Let's have Ms. LaChance jump in.
We know in the next 13 years, the senior population will double, and they will represent approximately 30% of the demographic in Canada. So we found that 95% of seniors want to stay home. So we want to offer a stay home first approach. So what that means is that we want to help seniors stay home by increasing their old age security, by guaranteeing help into the home. And we'll also help them live independently by paying for modifications if they need a ramp, a wheelchair, whatever it may be. And caregivers will also receive a tax credit. Now, we have the same plan regarding ending for-profit long-term care. We absolutely want to phase that out by 2028, and this will be a transition away from the conservatives, not liberals, for-profit long-term care plan or system. And while we do that, we will place audits, inspections, and zero-tolerance sanctions on homes that endanger their residents. So this is something that we are committed to, and I know our leader is personally committed to this because he does have elderly parents, so he has an emotional attachment. And at our house, we're also, in our family, we're having the various discussions, and we want to make sure that this is also fixed as soon as possible.
15 years of Liberal government, and they built 600 beds. We've always known that the demographics were aging. I remember years ago hearing about a silver tsunami that was coming. Like we had an aging population. They did absolutely nothing to invest, to ensure that we had enough PSWs, to ensure that we had enough beds. This is proper planning. This is how you take care of your seniors. This is how you care. I mean, Stephen Del Duca cannot be a new person. He was a Liberal minister under Kathleen Wynne. He's been there. He's been at that cabinet table. He did nothing to invest in seniors. We also have a home care program, making sure that we're keeping seniors aging at home with grants to keep them safe for accessibility measures, with caregiver benefits. Most of our plans were actually out before the Liberals' plan just dropped, but that's okay. They like our ideas. It's nothing new. We know that Liberals campaign as New Democrats and then they govern as Conservatives. And plans to keep them home, making sure that
Taylor,
we have.
Thank you. Our time is moving on.
That's
We would like to get
perfect.
Ms. LaChance if she'd like to respond before we move on.
Yes. So I just wanted to say that our fight, the Ontario Liberal fight, is actually with the Conservatives. And that's who I want to talk about right now, because there's nothing in Doug Ford's plan to address the need to fix long-term care. And what does that say about the values of the Conservative government? What I learned recently is that the values of the government that we elect determine the quality of our lives. So I want voters to remember this. When they go to the polls, remember, what are they doing to fix long-term care? After everything we just saw, there is nothing in their plan. They are continuing with the same plan. That is not what we want in Ontario.
The other thing that we need to stop from the Ford government is killing Bill 124 that disrespects healthcare workers and all public sector workers and cap them at a 1% increase, which was now almost into its fourth year, just completely disrespecting our public sector workers. But I cannot stress enough about making sure we have enough public spaces, building 50,000 beds that are culturally appropriate, that are language appropriate, that are personal appropriate. Let's have smaller homes. We got rid of institutions for people with disabilities. We have them in our homes, in communities. We can do the same things with seniors and ensure they have full-time, around-the-clock care, and that they're able to live their lives in dignity and not see what we've seen in the past few years.
I am being told we have to move on to our next question. So with that said, from the CBC Hamilton, Bobby Rostova, you are up.
Thank you. I'd like to pass this to the Liberal candidate. We've been talking about the pandemic. It's obviously still ongoing. Some of us in the studio wearing masks here. If we see another large wave of cases, will your party impose widespread mandates like masking mandates or vaccine mandates? And how do you balance that with people in our communities who feel that those mandates go too far?
Thank you for the question. Well, thankfully, 80% of the population is vaccinated. And if we follow the science, we know that this is our best chance at protecting ourselves and avoiding mandates. But as a government, our responsibility is to protect the public, is to protect our citizens. And so it's really a question of, are we doing our job? We have to follow the science. We have to protect our citizens. So when the time comes, if another outbreak were to happen, then we would have to do what it takes, whatever that means, to protect our citizens. And unfortunately, the subject of vaccines and mandates have really divided our society. In my own family, we've had fights and division because we don't agree. But I think at the government level, at all levels, we need to follow science and we need to protect our citizens.
Ms. Taylor?
Thank you for that question, because Chantal is right on this. There is definitely division and anger amongst our community. People pitted against the other, mandates, no mandates, vaccines, no vaccines. We have had no choice but to follow the science table. Those are the people who are there to serve our province in the majority, to ensure that we can be safe and that we can move our best foot forward. I think a lot of the divisiveness that we've seen also was from a government that couldn't make a decision. They flip-flopped on the decisions. They changed mandates regularly. They took us out of mandates for polling instead of health and science, and then put us back in because we ended up in crisis again. That's not the leadership that we want to see. We need a government that will stick to a decision, keep us there for as long as possible, and then move us through gradually and safely to ensure that people can live their lives and that we save our most vulnerable people, who are the ones who are truly at risk. I mean, many of us are catching COVID on a regular basis. It's like something we have to learn to live with in some sorts. But if we get those vaccines, we're not getting near as sick, and we're not as likely to pass it on to somebody who is vulnerable. So that's the way I see it. It's unfortunate that we're so divided. It's unfortunate that there are 7 sides to a story that really didn't need to have that many involved.
Follow-up, Ms. LaChance?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the Ontario Liberal government would like to combat misinformation. Unfortunately, part of the problem that's dividing us is the internet and the things that people are watching, and that's feeding it. It's feeding the division. It's feeding the opinions. And so we want to make sure that we fight this. In schools, we want to teach kids about misinformation. We also want to add the COVID-19 vaccination to the list of vaccines for school-aged children. So these are ways that we can, inform people, maybe lower the chances of divisiveness. And hopefully we're on our way out and that the pandemic is over and we'll have time to heal as a society. And that I think will just take time.
Thank you both for your responses to that particular question. Rick Zamperin from 900 CHML, he is back. Your question and who you're posing it to, sir.
Yes, this is for Ms. Taylor. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is a massive topic in this province that really hasn't received a lot of attention during this election campaign. How will your party make Hamilton Mountain and Ontario more inclusive for all?
Thank you so much for that very important question, because you're absolutely right. We have watched racism on the rise. We have watched families be destroyed. We have watched families be run down by cars for their faith. We will do better. We will ensure that we have an anti-racism directorate or a ministry. We had an anti-racism directorate. The Conservatives canceled it, and really focusing and emphasizing education. The London Family Act would provide education into the curriculum. It will ensure that we're talking to kids in levels that they can understand, and change our roots from the bottom up, making sure that that we're enticing our children, that we're I don't know if enticing is the right word, but we're teaching our children the values of people, and that culture is beautiful and rich. And we don't have to be afraid of, being taken over or losing our culture because we have other cultures joining us. That's what makes us so wonderful and so amazing. I love the ability to join into other cultural celebrations because we learn and we can celebrate with others and enjoy their rich foods and music. And I think once we start celebrating people's cultures and places where they come from, then we should learn how to enjoy that too.
Ms.
There's
Taylor,
a lot of work to do.
that is time.
Yeah,
we would like to continue on and let Ms. LaChance get in.
I just want to say that inclusion and equity are at the core of our party. It's really the foundation. If you look at our set of candidates, you will see Ontario. You will see people from all races, all backgrounds. And when we created our plan, we sought out people from every culture and underrepresented people. We made sure that everyone had a voice in this plan. And I really believe, and I do agree with Ms. Taylor, education is the key. And because where there's understanding, there's compassion. And for myself, I'm lucky because my two children actually went to school and their classes were extremely diverse. And now my oldest has a Muslim friend, a black friend, a mulatto friend, a white friend. They're all best friends and they all appreciate each other and their cultures and their differences. So unfortunately, not every child has a chance to be in that situation, because when you're in that situation, you just naturally grow with that understanding and that appreciation for the differences. So this is why education needs to be at the core of the solution.
Ms. LaChance, thank you. Time did have to move on. If you'd like to finish off your last thought,
I just want to add how proud I am of our candidates also. That Andrea, really puts a lens on it to ensure that we're attracting equity candidates, women, people of color, people with disabilities. We have one gentleman who's running for us who's a quadriplegic. I mean, that brings a whole array of life experience, which is most important when you're making these decisions, that people who have lived experience, understand experience, and they have empathy for others. So I think it's important that we're including equity and that we're having these conversations.
Thank you very much for those responses. From the World Wide Web, Val, I believe you have a question from a viewer.
Yeah, it's hard to pick. We've had a lot of great responses. This one is from Heather for both of our candidates tonight. The present rates for Ontario Works and the Ontario Disability Support Program both fall significantly below the poverty line. Premier Ford has promised a 5% increase to ODSP. What specifically are your parties promising, and what is the thinking behind your promises?
And let's start with Ms. LaChance on this one.
Okay. As a teacher, I've always strived to offer an equitable and accessible classroom. So our plan for people on ODSP and OW is comprehensive and includes increased monthly amounts, savings, and opportunities to enhance the quality of their lives. So for example, we will increase, so talking about the increase of monthly increases, we will increase the monthly amounts by 20%, but we also want to bring back the Universal Basic Income Pilot Project, which is something we wanted to do, but then in 2018, life changed. So in terms of savings, we want to help people save the HST on prepared meals under $20, and they will also save on transit. So with Buck a Ride, they can go anywhere in the city for $1, and that does include the Darts bus. So you see that we have increased amounts, saving. So right there it's adding. It's a comprehensive approach, but then we also have opportunities. So a person on ODSP, we would increase the amount that they can earn to $6,000. So currently it's $2,500. We want to increase it to $6,000. And what we also want to do for people on the passport program is give them $6,000 so that they can participate in activities within the community. community, because that gives them a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose. It gives them something to strive for in the morning, and it also integrates them into the community. And then we also want to offer them OSAP loans. We're going to double OSAP loans. So anyone in ODSP can go to school, and we would never charge them interest. So other than that, we also want to build 2,500 supportive homes for those who need it. And we want to have a standalone minister, which is something that does not exist currently.
Thank you very much for that. Now, we did let you go a little extra longer, so we will also do the same for Ms. Taylor in fairness. Ms. Taylor, you're up.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Heather, for that question. It's a really important question because poverty is a major problem here in Hamilton and across Ontario, and that literally stems from years of Liberal and Conservative governments that have underfunded, literally left people in poverty because they were disabled, not increasing. When the Liberals, just before the Liberals left government, they were doing a measly increase of 3%. When Ford came into government, he cut that to 1.5%. He privatized employment standards for employment programs to help people get into the workforce. So we will immediately overnight increase by 20%, and then we will double ODSP rates, ensuring that we're bringing people out of poverty, and then tying it to a formula that allows them to never be put into poverty again, to have this problem. Making sure that we're changing how a spouse is defined. Currently, if I'm on ODSP and my partner has a job, we can't live together or else they're cutting back my check. So he's expected to take care of me. Well, where is a person's dignity in that? There isn't one. People need to be able to stand on their own. They need to have their own money and their own earnings. And if they're disabled, they deserve to have an income that comes in the form of ODSP.
And that is time. Thank you very much. I'm being told we have time for one more question. So if our candidates are up for it, we have Kevin Werner back from Hamilton Community News. Kevin, your quick question to both candidates and quick responses from both of our candidates as well, please.
I feel pretty privileged. Too many questions to ask, but I will ask the Liberal candidate. Will your party commit to creating a standalone Indigenous ministry and help to provide the necessary funding to help to recover all the dead bodies that have been found across Ontario?
So to answer your question, yes, we are committing to having a standalone minister at Queen's Park. And we are committed to the truth and reconciliation calls to action. And when we talk about the importance of, recognizing our history, we want to make sure that children in Ontario are, educated on what happened and can have a sense of compassion and welcome that integration into Ontario, into the classrooms, into society. So we are definitely committed by having that minister, and we would like to also make a National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, and we'd like to make that a statutory holiday.
Ms. LaChance, thank you very much for that. Ms. Taylor, you have 1 minute.
Thank you so much. Yes, we are also committed to a standalone ministry for Indigenous Affairs, committed to all of the 75 recommendations, which currently only 11 have been done. UNDRIP, make sure that, which is the United Nations Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People, imply it into our laws. A strategy on suicides and crisis that we're seeing in our First Nations. Get clean water, a clean water strategy, which the Liberals cannot deny. I'm sorry, Chantal, but once again, the Liberals cannot deny that years and years you have allowed boil advisories to happen, and the Conservatives have done the same thing. We will not do that. We will pay the bill, and then we'll send the bill to the feds. Never mind this ping pong of who it belongs to. Just get the work done. A housing strategy to ensure that people have safe places to live. Mental health strategies, health strategies, addiction strategies. There is so much work that needs to be done for First Nations communities that have been neglected for years. That will stop under an NDP government.
And that is our time for our debate portion of this program. Thank you both so much for the candid and entertaining debates. And of course, the questions posed to us by our wonderful media, Kevin Werner, Rick Zamperin, Bobby Rostova, Kelly Botello, and of course, Val Cole. With only a few minutes left now, our Hamilton Mountain candidates are going to be moving on to their closing statements, going in opposite order from how they started, 1 minute each, starting with Monique Taylor for the NDP.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Cable 14, for having us here tonight. Thank you to all of our reporters for all of your great, fantastic questions. Thank you to you for tuning at home. And thank you to my colleague from the Liberal Party for the important discussions that we had this evening. While we may not disagree on everything, I do respect your being here and taking part in our democratic process. Thank you, Hamilton Mountain, for your continued trust in me over the years. Being your representative has been truly one of the greatest honors of my life. I know and love our community, and I understand the challenges that we face. I am committed to continuing to work hard. So once again, I'm applying for the job. So I humbly ask for your vote on June the 2nd. Together, we can work towards a better and brighter future. Thank you so much.
Ms. Taylor, thank you for that. And having the final say in tonight's debate, Chantal Lachance for the Liberal Party, your closing statement, please.
So we have heard a competing vision for a way to move our riding forward. I'd like to thank my fellow candidate for sharing her ideas. As a teacher, I remind my students to always check the facts. For all the rhetoric of the Ontario PC Party, spending is way higher than it was when the Liberals were in power. The difference is our party did not offer gimmicks with no value. We did not propose 2 highways to nowhere, but rather investments in education and healthcare. Now, even with all of the NDP's passion and commitment, which I truly appreciate, we have had no sustainable or meaningful change brought to our riding in the last 10 years. The Ontario Liberal Party has the strength to form government and take on the PCs. We are a new Ontario Liberal Party with a new leader, a fully costed plan ready to implement on day one. It's time for Hamilton Mountain to make the same changes. With that, I humbly ask for your vote on June 2nd.
And that is time. Thank you both for this debate. Ms. Taylor from the NDP, Ms. Lachance from the Liberal. And of course, thank you very much once again to our media panel. And a reminder, also running in the Hamilton Mountain area are Michael Spatafor for the PC Party, Bailey Ng for the New Blue Party, Janet Eggers for the Green Party, and Andy Busa for the Ontario Party. Hamilton, this concludes our debate series for this 2022 provincial election. Please join us on election night for up-to-date results and analysis, all beginning at 8 p.m. I'll be alongside Larry Deaney and Tara Crunali. As we leave you this evening, we want to extend a very special thank you to the entire Cable 14 production team who has worked to bring these debates to you over the past 2 weeks. And folks, please, whatever you do, polls are open. Make sure you get out and vote before June the 2nd. I'm Mike Fortune. We'll see you on June 2. Good evening, everyone.